Terrific. Jay, thank you so much. How lucky am I? I get to take my mojo on the road, and we're so excited tonight. We're going to be heading to BB King's. It's going to be a wonderful show. We're really super excited. Johnny Winter's going to be headlining, but before we get to Johnny, what a treat for you. Have you ever opened for Johnny Winter before?
Yes.
You have?
At the Fairfield Theater Company last year.
FTC down there. Now, I'm curious, was that at stage one? So was it a more intimate event, or was it a theater event?
It was the stage one, which is like my favorite place to play.
Isn't it wonderful? It's got a wonderful, for those of you that don't know, it's a wonderful intimate venue. And I'm curious about that. As a fan, it's such a wonderful experience. How do you feel about an intimate venue like that, Jay?
It's absolutely my favorite place to play because it's not too big.
Yes.
So you really can connect with the people that are there.
Yes.
And they're right around you. It's like in a way, it's kind of like the stage is kind of your living room, and you have a bunch of guests right there digging it. And I mean, like, you know, when people see performers, they have to realize we see the audience.
Yes.
Play. I mean, if you're playing in a huge arena, which I've done, I mean, you know, you don't really connect one-on-one, but when you're in a venue like that, it's like, I can see what's going on, I can see what they're loving, and they're doing, they get up and they dance, and to me, that is the perfect place. In fact, I have it booked. I have a date on hold in September for our album release.
Oh, terrific!
Which will be at FTC.
I love that. I love that, and I love hearing that, because that's really the feeling as an audience member. I've often said it's like having this wonderful performance in your living room. Well, now let's lead right into that. Your album that's going to be coming out. Can you give me a little scoop on that? What you're going to be calling it? What's that?
Well, we're still kicking around some ideas. I think that, you know, yesterday, we change every day. The name of the album changes every day. We're probably just going to call it the Jay Stollman Blues Band. It's going to be our self-titled first album. It's a mixture of some traditional blues, some of my original takes on the blues, and we're expecting some very well-known special guests to perform who we can't really mention.
But it's a good way to stay tuned. I love that. I'm a sucker for special guests. I'm a sucker for a good cover. Do you do any covers, or is it all original?
No, I do covers. You know, like one of the things I've spent my life honoring, covering great material. I always like to put my own little spin on it. I'm not a blues historian. I'm a student of the blues, and I like to treat it like I'm paying homage to this form and the artists that really, you know, kind of blazed this trail. So, so there will be some really traditional, my take on some traditional things.
Yes.
I do have this kind of weakness for soul music, so I think that my approach to the blues is like this soul vocal blues kind of thing, and it's really gonna,
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, you just hit on my radio show, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
love the blues.
It's funny, I had a conversation with Shamika Copeland in Florida a couple weeks ago, and she said, people are constantly telling me, this isn't the blues, this isn't the blues, this isn't the blues, and I'm going, you know, that's what I'm gonna get. She said, you know what? Do your thing. If you're going to go down, you go down as yourself. You know? And she, you know, she's very soulful, and it's very not. I mean, she does some really traditional blues, but she stretches the boundaries.
Yes.
And that's all acceptable in the blues. I think the blues is it's here.
It is. It absolutely is. It's the soul cooking of music, I think. She had a great night. She was actually at the Knickerbocker in Westerly. Hopefully we'll see you there sometime. She draws a great crowd over there, and I know the last show that she did was no exception. We love having her come around. She of course, she comes from blues royalty. That doesn't hurt, but she's definitely blazing.
I come from real estate agents, so you know,
you're really blazing your own trail.
I have no pedigree at all.
Oh, well, you know what? You're starting a lineage. I'm curious, you know, when you were talking about the blues, and I hear that you're not a historian, but do you have any favorites, players that that have just always caught your ear?
Well, it's funny. When I was a kid, my parents took me to Rocky Point Amusement Park in Rhode Island.
Okay.
To take me on the rides. I was 10 years old, but there was a band setting up, and they couldn't get me to go on any rides. So they left me in front of the stage and went on the ride themselves, and I saw the Yardbirds play.
You're kidding!
And in that incarnation, it was Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck.
Really?
So that kind of got
And how old were you?
10.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I was about 12 or 13, I went to a concert in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I grew up in Bridgeport. And I went to see Vanilla Fudge, which was, the big psychedelic band of the time.
Yeah.
And on the bill, were these two other artists that I had never heard of. One was Joe Cocker on his first American tour, and the other one was B.B. King.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and I didn't know if that was a man, a woman. I didn't know what B.B. King was. So my friends and I were about 12. We took a walk outside the tent during one of the breaks, and we saw this old guy holding a guitar. And when I say old, he might have been 30. I don't know what he was at the time. And we said, "Hey, Mr. Nice Guitar." And he said, "Well, this is Lucille." And we went, "You named your guitar after a woman?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You know, guitar's like a woman. Sometimes you treat it pretty, you stroke it nice, and it sings so pretty for you. But sometimes you gotta be rough with it, and it screams and it wails." And I was like, "Okay, mister, whatever you say." And we didn't know who that was. And then they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, B.B. King." And we're like, "That's the guy we were just talking to." And
oh, there are no accidents.
And that, like, really, so it started with me with, like, you know, the Yardbirds, people that were students of the blues.
Yes.
Like, you know, like I was the Cream growing up, so that students of the blues.
Yeah.
And then seeing B.B. King.
Yeah.
And then, like, going like this, and that blew me away, just watching him at 12 years old. And so I've always, like, loved B.B. I saw Muddy Waters when I was a teenager.
You did.
Muddy Waters and Albert King and people like that. And I, you know, and while I don't, you know, I strayed and I did a lot of soul music. My bands used to open up for James Brown and Wilson Pickett and people like that. So I really had this soul thing.
Oh, gosh.
But when I got the opportunity to get back into more of a straight blues thing, you know, all that comes with me.
Oh, I am so excited to hear the new album.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Do you have a target on a month or?
I would like to. We have some dates booked in the fall, which will be. I think it'll probably be out before then.
Okay.
But the fall is my target for a little tour to support.
How fun will we be watching? I'm just curious. Are you recording it in one place, or is it coming together in pieces?
Right now, what I've been doing is I've been doing most of my demos with actually Scott Spray, who's Johnny Winter's bass player.
Yeah.
Has been in the studio with me. Scott and I have played together for 30 years. Before he was in Johnny's band, we were together for like 25 years or so in bands, and he's one of my oldest and best friends. And he's, you know, in the studio with me. We're writing. We're doing a lot of our demos. We're laying tracks that will probably be ultimately on the album. So we're working in one place right now, but I think that we'll probably take it to a larger studio for the final tracks.
Jay, well, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to get to spin this on Morning Mojo. I wish you continued success. I love it that you're going to use your moniker. I mean, because it's really a great way to brand and to get yourself out there and really people connect.
We've come up with a million ideas.
Yes.
And then it's like, you know, is my name okay? Is this okay? Is that okay? And we just kind of went like, you know what? I am who I am, and it is what it is, and we're just going to go with that.
Oh, I'm thrilled. Again, I couldn't be more excited to blend the blues. I just actually got back from, I ran away from home and I went down to Clarksdale. So, you know, it was a juke joint fest where I ended up. So the old blues with the soul and the mix together, it's just wonderful. And to see you really carrying that genre on, because, you know, we're losing guys every day. So it's just such an exciting thing to think about you continuing it and blazing a new trail and moving forward. So thank you so much, Jay. And we'll continue our adventure at BB's tonight.